What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today, once again, we're going to be going over some of my best loot drops I've picked up recently, going over the weapon rolls, what's good or not, and a few of the really nice weapons I got as rewards. And there are also some things I've been looking for definitely a long time that I finally picked up, which you'll see in the video. So let's begin with some skeleton keys. Got 2 of them and opened up some chests with the Restorative Mind and the Undying Mind Strike. The first one I got the gauntlets, the ugly gauntlets I always seem to get. I'm not sure why I still go for these chests. I've already got a good Fatebringer roll, but there isn't really much else for me to spend on, so I normally just see what I can get. Now, in the second key, I use on the Undying Mind Strike. I actually managed to get an Amargo Luke, thankfully not the Mark. So the perk rolls on this are Relentless Tracker, Hand-Loaded, Rifle Barrel, Disciplinarian, and Grenadier. Pretty garbage if you ask me, but Disciplinarian is definitely a very cool perk. I would actually love to get a Fatebringer roll with Disciplinarian if possible. The RNG for that is probably like nearly impossible to get, but Disciplinarian is a very, very cool perk. Bonus damage to all fallen is definitely going to come in handy, so that would be nice on a Fatebringer roll. So next up, moving on to the Icebreaker Sunrise Bounties. Of course, I was hunting the Icebreaker for a very long time, so I've got 6 of my last bounties that I recorded. The first one dropping me a new Monstercat shotgun, then a new Monstercat hand cannon, then a comedian from the Vanguard, the Swarm, Angel's Advocate, and then finally this last package dropped me a sidearm, and in my postmaster was the Icebreaker. So there you go, the Icebreaker hunt is finally over. It took me a very long time, pretty much towards the end of January. You might have seen I did a live con with the weapon, showing it off live in a gameplay. If you want to check it out, it'll be in the description. But yeah, finally happy to get the Icebreaker and actually use it. It's a really fun sniper to use. Definitely not a fan of the RNG, but let me know in the comment section if any of you guys have it yet, if you're still hunting it. So next up, let's move on to the Crucible Packages. Got some really cool stuff in here. Firstly, the event Horizon with Underdog, Spray and Play, Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, and Firefly. The next one is a Hero Formula Scout Rifle with Outlaw, Take Any, Small Bore Explosive Rounds, and Return to Sender. And now next up, we've got 2 Longbow Synthesis Snipers with Last Resort, Snapshot, Unflinching, and Short Gaze 10 and Ambush Scope. So pretty nice in this role, definitely a decent one. The next one is very impressive. We've got Last Resort, Quick Draw, Hidden Hand, which is just amazing by itself. But unfortunately, these scopes aren't that great. We've got Long View 10, which is basically the best one. It's nearly a god roll longbow. If this thing only had a Short Gaze 10 scope, this thing would be a perfect god roll. I mean, Last Resort, Quick Draw, and also Hidden Hand is such a good trifecta of perks, but just missing that scope. Long View 10 is definitely decent, but I would definitely prefer the Short Gaze 10. But there you go, that is a really interesting longbow I picked up. And the next package got us an Each New Day Fusion Rifle with Unflinching, Icarus, Perfect Balance, Rifle Barrel, and Hot Swap. So next up, moving on to the Crucible Weekly Bounties, got 3 of them. The first one dropping me 20 Strange Coins. Seem to have gotten a lot of these recently, which I'm definitely happy with, and nearly back at 1,000 Strange Coins once again. Had about 1,500 when Rise of Iron first launched, and the first day I spent like 1,300 on Heavy Ammo Synth for Zerg to rank up factions, and of course that was the fastest way to level up at the beginning. But yeah, definitely good to stack up those Strange Coins once again, and I'm not sure if we'll ever have a chance to actually use them again. They'll probably just be useless and go into Destiny 2, to be honest. So the next one dropped the Bad Juju, an amazing PvE weapon, definitely one of the best primaries for sure, although I've already got one with both the ornament supplies, so you need to be careful not to delete the one with ornaments, because of course you don't get those back. And the next one dropped me the Hexcaster Auto Rifle with Outlaw and Life Support. These things are basically like Infusion Fuel to me. I always get garbage rolls in them and nothing close to Doctrine anyway. And now moving on to the Vanguard packages, got Devil You Know with Relentless Tracker, Hand Loaded, a Brace Frame, Feather Mag, and Icarus. Not a bad PvP roll, but nothing amazing as well. Then we also got a Shadow Price Auto Rifle with Focus Fire, Hand Loaded, Injection Mold, Reinforced Barrel, and Either Storm. So pretty bad roll overall, but the scope is very nice. And then moving on to the factions, beginning with Future War Cult. Got some really cool stuff in here. We've got a Waltz firstly with Fled Magwell, Snapshot, Small Bore, and Outlaw, and also Glass Half Full. So pretty good roll on this thing. And also got Sure Shot too, which is a very nice scope to look through. So of course this is the same, a very rare Clever Dragon archetype, the fastest rate to fire pulse. So if the Clever Dragon ever does get nerfed in the upcoming patch, then maybe this could be the next best thing. But this is definitely a very good weapon, and always try and get good rolls on this one if I can. Next up we got a Whale Hand Cannon, also a pretty good weapon. This one came with explosive rounds, lightweight, small bore, outlaw, and reactive reloads. Not a bad PvE roll. And the next one is the Wormwood Sidearm, which came with high caliber, fitted stock, and rangefinder. So this is actually a perfect god roll for a sidearm. You got stability, you got a bit of range, and of course high caliber. So this is by far the best sidearm I've ever gotten personally. So definitely gonna be keeping this thing around. And if I ever do use a sidearm, it would probably be this thing. And then into Dead Orbit, we've got an auto rifle with extended mags, Snapshot, Perfect Balance, Third Eye, and Glass Half Full. Nothing too great, but it is a very good auto rifle, like I said before. And the sniper rifle with skip rounds, lightweight, Perfect Balance, life support, and unflinching. So there you go. Those are the highlights and a roundup of all the best loot drops I've picked up recently. A bunch of cool stuff in there, especially the longbows, and finally the Icebreaker, of course. As always, leave a comment down below with any cool stuff you've gotten recently, any god rolls or weapons you've been after for a while. As always, a like rating would be much appreciated on the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.